Hi everyone, hope you all are doing good. This is Aisha and welcome back to another skit. So today we are talking about risk. Think about the situation, how it always feels so relaxing and so safe when we are following a daily routine, and it makes us feel that we are going through the right path and we are just in our comfort zone. There is nothing wrong in that, honestly. Like on the shallow level, you feel everything is good, things are looking fine, you're absolutely doing what you want to do. But the biggest chunk of our life which we are missing over here is having the opportunities. You know why we always wonder that we are lacking opportunities in our life? And why don't we have those opportunities which the other person having? So the reason is that we are not ready to take risk and we are not having the open personality. Our world is so shrink, our personality is so shrink to just the limiting goals or the limiting life, which is definitely not the signal to have the right or the good opportunities. For having the correct opportunities, you need to take risk in your life. Risk is so important. We are just constantly living in our comfort zone, in our comfort routines, in our comfort habits, and we are scared to take risk. We are just scared in our life to risk anything, either it's our money or our time or our impression. Anything, we are scared. And any scary person or a person who is fair enough can never ever be successful in any aspect of its life. For being successful, first a person needs to be fearless. And if we'll start taking risk in our life, the most important thing we'll learn to be fearless. Now here I'm not guiding you to take uncalculated or silly risk. No, I'm telling you to take calculated and intentional risk. I recently read about the psychology of money, on which I have also made a video. So on this book, actually, I read about how the most successful investors are constantly, consecutively investing in multiple stocks and multiple companies over their entire life. But only 2 to 3 companies are the ones among those hundreds of thousands of companies that actually made them successful, a billionaire. And that's where they take risk, even if they have never ever able to find out those 2 or 3 companies which make them billionaire until or unless they have taken the risk of investing in thousands of companies. So when we are not taking any risk and we are just sitting in our comfort zone and waiting an opportunity to come to us, then that is just a foolish decision. We have to take risk. How we are always having the thoughts, the ideas in our mind, but we never implement them just because of any risk aligned with that situation. For example, you want to build a podcast, or you want to start a YouTube channel, or it could be, switching your career or starting a new business, or even investment. You want to invest in mutual funds or, stock markets, but you never started because you are scared to take risk. This is what we need to break. We need to break this dilemma of being scary when taking risk. Taking risk is actually not to be scared of. The biggest risk we are taking in our life is not taking risk at all. Because when we are not taking risk, we are missing the biggest chunks in our life, which we don't even know. When we become elder or We always heard that stories in the articles where the people are on the deathbed, and they never have the regrets of having mistakes, or getting lose anything. They always have the regrets of not doing some particular things. Like, they say, I wanted to build my career in sports. I wish I had done it, or I wish I had I wish I had gone for the trip, a solo trip, or anything like that. There are many of the stories we always have heard and we always have seen in the newspaper or the digital article, and the world is full of such stories. And if you don't want to become a part of these stories, we need to change it right now. You need to start taking risk. The three major things we are losing in our life, as we are not taking risk, is that first, we are being fearful. When we'll take risk, we start being fearless, as I said, even if it's a small risk. For example, you are scared of starting a small business because you are scared that you'll put on your money, you'll put on your time, and it might be a failure. There is a risk, right? So if you take that risk, first, instantly when you start the business, you'll buy the inventory, and even if you'll have the very first sale, instantly you will start feeling fearless in your inside. Your inner soul will instantly feel like so fearless, so full of life, and you'll start feel a bigger life, a bigger world. And that's so quick that the moment you'll take risk, the moment you'll survive that situation, which is not going to take a lot of time, so instantly you'll have that fearless feeling inside you. And that is the key. Second, your confidence will boost up. When you take risk, you'll have that confidence that you can survive through this uncertain world, and this is not so difficult. You were just all having this in your head, and you will have that feeling of competency, that you're competent. There is a difference between being competent and being confident. Confident is that knowing that you can do something, while competency is that you did it. You already did it, and by doing it, you have that I would say, you have that strong feeling inside you, or the grip on yourself, that you did it and you can do it. When you have already done a particular thing, you are fearless to do it again, and then your boundaries of your mind also gets larger. You started having those thoughts that if I can do this, then I can do this, and that too. Then I should try that. You instantly start trying out your ideas. You instantly start saying yes for the things you were scared of, and that can change your life. Third, you will get your luck the chance to hit you. When we are not taking risks, we are going straight in our life. The life goes straight with us. There are no ups and downs. So yes, there are no ups and downs. When there are no downs, there are no ups. So we're having those highs and lows. We take risk, and when we take risk, you'll have the opportunities come to your way, and you'll get the chance to your luck to hit you. Any opportunity could become that successful pinch for you, and you will never know that. I always used to be a risk taker in my life, but recently, because of some of the hardships and some of my personal life experiences, I would say, I stopped taking risk in my life. And then in the meanwhile, in these couple of months, I realized what I was missing. And then I realized the people who are not taking risk in their life, what are they actually missing? When I always used to take risk earlier and when I was not taking a risk in that middle period, I realized that when I used to take risk, I always used to be very fearless, very confident, and very spontaneous. When we are taking risk, every single cell of our body is so conscious or so alert for handling that uncertainty instantly. Because we know that we are taking risk, so anything can come to us. And then we are prepared. We are already prepared for it. We are prepared to be spontaneous. And that spontaneous, like being spontaneous, is, I think, a crucial skill. It's a skill which no one can literally make you learn until or unless your life or your experiences. And risk is the only thing which actually made me learn how to be spontaneous. Just imagine of the example that there are two scenarios. One, that when you are going for an exam without any preparation, and second, when you're going for an exam while being fully prepared. Now, in both of the situations, just take an example that your exam comes out of the box, it comes out of syllabus somehow. In the first situation, when you're not prepared, you had taken risk. I'm not suggesting you to do that, but I'm just giving you an assumption. You had taken risk, and on the exam seat, in the first scenario, you were fully aware, you were so spontaneous, and you wrote your exam. While in the second case, because you were prepared for the situations in your life and you were looking at it as that it's all under control and it's all certain and you know what's going to happen, but the exam comes out of the syllabus, then you are completely blank when you look at the question paper because you were assuming the exam to be certain. And you were prepared to a limited area. And then you started having anxiety and stress. And you were not spontaneous at all. And obviously, you are not going to perform well at the exam. Well, honestly, this is not about the exam. It is about life. This is what we are doing in our life. We are trying to control everything. We are trying to become certain about every situation, every event in our life, but life is not certain. It is so uncertain. It is so spontaneous. So we have to take risk for being spontaneous. I hope you find this video useful, and this is just we are building a healthy community to learn and to grow together. And that is it for today. See you soon.